I'm a senior at Huntington Beach High School. My name is Claire Jacobs. So I'm pretty involved on campus. I'm a part of Model United Nations as the Secretary General. I'm a part of National Honor Society and Link Crew. And then my friend and I also founded a club which is called Horizons, which is a multicultural diversity club. March 14th was a date organized by those who organized the Women's March in LA and all of its sister marches. It's essentially a day in which we take 17 minutes to respect and honor the lives of those lost in the Parkland shooting, and then also create, at least here in Huntington Beach High School, create the platform in which we can open a dialogue on campus where we can talk about what exactly is the solution to this, how do we fix an issue that affects us as students so directly. Today, March 14th, Huntington Beach High School hosted our own walkout by having student music, speeches, voting registration, and honoring the 17 people lost with a moment of silence during our tutorial, and that went from 10 o'clock to 10:17. This March 14th date was essentially a way in which we wanted to bring all students together, no matter your political affiliation or who you are, and say, this affects you, and we want to hear what you want to say because what you think matters in a forum like this. So I majorly started the motion for the March 14th walkout. We were led by majorly seniors. We worked in tandem a lot with our faculty who was really trying to support us and make sure that our First Amendment right was respected. I think because Parkland particularly has such similar demographics to us here in Huntington and to a lot of students in similar areas, it felt different this time to myself and to a lot of my peers. They were able to take this horrifying event that had happened to them and utilize it as a platform for them to vocalize an issue that directly affects us as students. And because youth, we are not 18, the majority of us, and those who are turning 18, we only are just getting the taste of politics. A lot of times we feel very powerless in it. So I think the Parkland students, Emma Gonzalez and the rest of them, have kind of given the youth in America a voice to stand up for something that affects them. We're not powerless in this. In the midterms congressionally that are coming up in November, a lot of the seniors are going to be 18. So if we can give a voice to the students who are going to be the new constituency and show them your opinion does matter here and you do have power, I think that's what the Parkland shooting and all of these other events have really accumulated to create more so advocacy within our youth. I would ideally love to see more communication on both the Democratic and Republican sides of the aisles. I think right now we're politicizing everything so dysfunctionally in a way that we're not able to talk about anything with respect on either side. Whether you are a Democrat or whether you are a Republican, we have these preconceived notions of who another person is simply because of their political affiliation. And so I think if we can come around a table and talk about this, not necessarily as Democrats or Republicans or conservatives or libertarians, and talk about this as people who are affected by an issue of violence where we are having our children, our students being harmed, then that's something that I would like to see, having an open table. I would say, if I had any last comments, don't let yourself be ruled by what everybody else says. You do make an impact. You just have to be the one to seek out the initiative to make it. So I'm really excited for March 24th and April 20th. On the 24th, I've been working with other student leaderships from Ocean View, Edison, Marina. We may be involving Westminster and Fountain Valley as well, on creating a sister march for our lives here in Huntington Beach, which would be taking place at 10 o'clock from Lake Park to City Hall. We're going to be having guest speakers, some of them being candidates for the 48th District of Congress, which will be running in November. We're going to be having food trucks, voting registration, t-shirts, student art, student media, and music as well. So it's essentially going to be a sister march to all of the others that are occurring in LA, one's occurring in Santa Ana, but we more so want to draw a crowd of this as being student-led, but we also want to involve our whole suburban community in it, because I feel like the 48th District, Huntington Beach, Costa Mesa, Newport Beach don't necessarily have a reputation of being political or activist. But despite that, we are still affected by this issue. So on the 24th, that's what we hope to achieve. And on April 20th, we'll be having a more organized and variable rally on campus, which would be more so a miniaturized version of what's occurring on the 24th. So we'd hope to expand our registration, have more guest speakers, both liberal, conservative, and independent. So that would be coming from student speakers, teachers, outside guests, and organizations, and maybe even creating some sort of student advocacy and civil engagement week just to make sure students on campus know that they have the ability to be heard and that they can be involved in what's occurring right now in America.